Revenge on a coworker via uniforms. I spent a decade in restaurants and bars before I switched to heavy industry a few years back. Different world completely. Shift work, alternating days and nights, 5 in the morning until 5 at night, but the people skills carried over. I got along with almost everybody on the floor. Almost. There was this guy, I will call him Walt. 25 years on the job. Bare minimum effort, every single day. Tattled on people for taking an extra 5 minutes at lunch. Pushed his own work onto whoever was closest. Everybody tolerated him because he had seniority and nobody wanted the headache. Our shift ran 5 to 5, but a lot of the time we stayed late for production. If we hit our numbers early, we could leave, as long as the next crew could walk in clean, no mess, nothing that would stall the line. One evening my crew hit the plan early. We cleaned up, set the next task up so the incoming crew just had to hit a button and babysit it for an hour. Nothing that would slow anybody down. At 4:30, I grabbed my bag and headed for the door. Walt called me over. I figured he wanted a status update. He didn't. Go back and finish that task, he said. I always stay till 5, no matter what production looks like. I told him he'd be fine. Everything was set up. All he had to do was press one button and sit there for an hour. That's not the point, he said. We went back and forth a few minutes. I laid out exactly how little effort it would take him. He wasn't hearing it. Eventually I just gave up arguing and walked back to the floor, while the rest of my crew clocked out laughing at me over their shoulders. Walt didn't come take over until 5:30. Here's the thing about Walt. He never stays past 4 himself, not once. He ducks out early every single day and leaves his own crew to clean up behind him, because there's a shower on site and he likes to use it before traffic gets bad. That's not a real rule. That's just his excuse. So watching him lecture me about commitment while I stood there past my finish time for a task that needed nobody really sat wrong with me. I didn't say anything else about it. I just went home and thought about it in the shower that night. The smell of the plant still stuck in my hair. A few days later I was collecting my uniform off the storage shelves. We get them washed on site and racked by a number assigned to your name, all listed on a shared spreadsheet, so anybody can find their spot. I was scrolling through it looking for mine when I saw his name right next to his shelf number. The idea hit me standing right there in the laundry room. I started small, a Sharpie dot in the corner of his chest pocket, right where a pen would leak if it were ever going to leak. Barely noticeable at first, just enough to look like an accident. Next time I was back there, I picked at the thread around his shirt buttons, just enough that they'd pop loose within a week or two, and every so often, I'd swap the number tag so his clean uniform landed on the shelf next to his instead of his own, right where a guy named Craig kept his. I did this for 2 years, a few minutes here and there, whenever I happened to be near the shelves anyway, which was often since I picked up extra shifts on Walt's crew when he was out. Turns out Walt isn't allowed to order new uniforms anymore. He blows his quarterly budget every single time, between the stains, the missing buttons, and the ones that vanish onto somebody else's rack. His crewmates started talking about it without knowing I was anywhere near it. Said he got pulled aside more than once for showing up looking sloppy, pockets blotched, buttons held on with safety pins. Said he was furious about his shirts turning up in Craig's spot. Convinced somebody in laundry kept mixing up the whole system. One of the younger guys on his crew told me about it while we were setting up a line together, laughing about how worked up Walt gets over a shirt. I just nodded along and said that sounded rough for him. Nobody has ever once looked at me for it. Why would they? I stay late when I'm asked. I keep my own uniform in perfect shape, and I never say a bad word about Walt to his face. Last week I heard he got pulled into the office again about his appearance standards, standing there in a shirt with a pen stain the size of a quarter and a button held together with a paperclip, trying to explain that he takes pride in his uniform. He does not get to explain his way out of that one. I'm moving to Spotify. Search BearyReads and follow.